We all know the Bermuda Triangle on Earth, but few realize there's another one, floating above us in space. A region where satellites glitch, astronauts panic, and the planet's magnetic shield goes haywire. Scientists call it the South Atlantic Anomaly. Some call it the Bermuda Triangle of Space. Imagine you're gazing at Earth from high above in the blackness of space. You see our beautiful blue planet, floating like a precious jewel against the infinite backdrop of the cosmos. You've left the air, the sea, the solid ground, and now you're in orbit around Earth. It's just you, your spacecraft, and the endless mysteries of the universe. But wait, as you reach out to make an adjustment to your instruments, the screen glitches. Warning lights begin to flash. This isn't a scene from a sci-fi horror movie. It's happening right now. In 2018, NASA's Landsat 8 satellite was making routine checks on itself when it detected an error. On board, this type of check happens regularly to ensure everything is operating smoothly. But this time, the satellite reported an anomaly in its orientation. It was perfectly fine moments before, but now it's experiencing a problem. It was then placed in safe mode, cut off from the world until things settled down. It's not alone. As many as 30% of all operational satellites have experienced similar shutdowns. Many never come back. They're lost forever to the silent, uncaring vastness of space. What is the anomaly? So what exactly is the Bermuda Triangle of Space? Why is it happening? And how can we stop it? If the South Atlantic Anomaly sounds familiar, it's because Earth has its own Bermuda Triangle. That's the real name of a region in the North Atlantic Ocean where ships and planes mysteriously vanish without a trace. Just as no one knows what happens in the Bermuda Triangle, we don't fully understand the South Atlantic Anomaly either. But unlike the ocean, space is full of hard data, and that data paints a strange picture. Earth's magnetic field isn't uniform. It has peaks and valleys. These variations are normal. The field lines bunch up around the planet's magnetic poles and stretch taut above the equator. The result is a kind of lumpy surface, with some areas more protected than others. In fact, according to NASA, one part of Earth's magnetic field dips lower than any other by about 60 miles or 100 kilometers. It hangs over the South Atlantic Ocean, hence the name. But this dip is much more than a minor quirk of physics. It leaves satellites vulnerable to deadly cosmic radiation, triggering mechanical failures, and even putting astronauts in danger. That may sound far-fetched. After all, we've lived with Earth's magnetic field for millions of years, and we're still here. But things are changing, and they've been changing for a long time. Since the 1960s, scientists have tracked the South Atlantic Anomaly as it drifts slowly across the Atlantic. Today, it hangs above Brazil and the southern tip of Africa. And it's growing. Every year, the zone expands by half a mile or 1 kilometer. No one knows why. Spacecraft in trouble. This means that several important spacecraft have to turn off their electronics when they pass through, including the famed Hubble telescope. Normally, it takes pictures of distant galaxies and newly born stars. But every time it passes through the anomaly, its systems shut down. That could be the end of the telescope. If it's left on, the radiation will eventually damage its equipment beyond repair. But thankfully, engineers at NASA are able to shut Hubble down before it reaches the anomaly. There's no room for mistakes. Even spacecraft further away from Earth aren't safe. Radiation can penetrate through thousands of miles of empty space. For example, NASA's Aqua satellite orbits Earth from about 350 miles or 560 kilometers up. It studies changes in temperature, precipitation, and water vapor levels. But when it flies through the South Atlantic Anomaly, its instruments go haywire and have to be reset. In 2011, an onboard computer suffered a single event upset, meaning it was hit by a particle of radiation and temporarily malfunctioned. A few years later, a second hit caused a different computer to fail. If the hits had damaged critical systems, the Aqua satellite could have been doomed. But after each hit, the satellite went into safety mode and restarted. Then it continued its mission as if nothing had happened. But it's not just machines that need to watch out. Astronauts also face danger as they orbit Earth inside the International Space Station. When radiation hits them, it doesn't cause immediate harm. You won't see a person burst into flames or drop dead on the spot. Instead, it damages DNA cells, leaving people vulnerable to cancer, brain disorders, and other chronic conditions. That risk is high in the South Atlantic Anomaly. Astronauts report sudden bursts of radiation that can last for hours. In 2017, European Space Agency astronaut Thomas Pesquet tweeted about the experience. He said, "Just got hit by a lot of radiation. We saw lots of shooting stars as well. One nearly hit me in the eye. Quite impressive." He was referring to cosmic rays, charged particles that hurtle through the galaxy at nearly the speed of light. They can leave scars on astronauts' retinas, but most importantly, they can kill cancer cells, which has led some researchers to propose an innovative way of fighting the disease. According to a recent study, patients could soon take trips to space to receive treatment. They would fly to the South Atlantic Anomaly and orbit Earth while cosmic rays bombard their bodies. The theory is that this would destroy tumors without the need for painful chemotherapy or risky surgery. That's a crazy idea, but it highlights the unique environment of the South Atlantic Anomaly. The region is a crucible of cosmic radiation, and our technology struggles to survive inside it. The mystery grows. All this is bad enough, but it gets worse. According to some reports, the South Atlantic Anomaly is getting bigger and expanding outwards at a rate of half a mile or 1 kilometer per year. And yet, nobody can say why. One team of Brazilian scientists came up with a possible explanation in 2014. They suggested that the shifting continents were responsible. As the land masses move, they drag Earth's magnetic field lines with them. Over billions of years, this drift has created tangled magnetic fields that allow radiation to slip through. But that doesn't explain why the anomaly is expanding now. Something is changing inside Earth. To find out what, researchers have turned to the planet's own core. It's not easy to get a sample because it's 4,000 miles or 6,400 kilometers beneath our feet. But scientists can measure seismic waves that travel through the core. In 2015, researchers found evidence of a huge crack deep inside Earth's core. It stretches 2,500 miles or 4,000 kilometers across, nearly as wide as the entire United States. The discovery suggested that Earth's inner layers could be shifting and that the planet's magnetic field is being disrupted. But nobody could have predicted what happened next. In 2018, scientists returned to the same spot and discovered that the crack had vanished. So whatever was happening inside Earth's core, it didn't last. But the South Atlantic Anomaly keeps expanding. So something else must be happening, something we don't understand. Theories and fears. That's the thing about the Bermuda Triangle. You can't ignore the facts. There have been hundreds of unexplained disappearances in the region. But that doesn't prove that aliens are visiting Earth or that portals to other dimensions are opening up in the ocean. Because in the end, science matters. It tells us that storms, rogue waves, and human error are to blame. But what if it's different up in the South Atlantic Anomaly? What if we're missing something obvious, staring at the evidence but not seeing the connections? For starters, the shifting magnetic fields could be connected to the ancient legend of Atlantis. According to Plato, the island sank into the ocean 9,000 years before his time, which would place it somewhere in the South Atlantic. If Atlantis really existed, it could have had a powerful magnetic core. When it sank, the magnetic field collapsed, creating an energy surge that weakened Earth's defenses. But there's no proof that Atlantis ever existed. Another worrying possibility is that the South Atlantic Anomaly could predict a pole shift. That's a change in Earth's axis of rotation, which would throw our climate into chaos. Since 1998, scientists have been observing wobbles in Earth's rotation. The planet is speeding up and slowing down in a regular cycle that might be connected to the South Atlantic Anomaly. So the expansion of the anomaly could be a warning of disaster. It could tell us that Earth's protective field is wearing thin. That's the scary thought at the end of this story. Our planet's magnetic shield is breaking down. If it fails completely, Earth will be defenseless against harmful radiation. Cosmic rays will bombard the planet, causing mass extinctions. And that could happen tomorrow. Or it could happen in a few thousand years. Nobody knows. And that's why this story matters. The South Atlantic Anomaly is a wake-up call. It shows that our home planet is changing. And we need to understand those changes. We can't afford to be caught off guard. So we're left with more questions than answers. Is the South Atlantic Anomaly a harmless quirk of Earth's magnetic field, or the first sign of something catastrophic? Is Earth losing its protective shield, or are the changes nothing to worry about? Maybe the answers are out there, hidden among the stars. All we have to do is reach out and grab them. But maybe it's better if we don't. Some mysteries are best left unsolved. Let's know what you think, share your comment, and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries.